So, welcome to Keller Williams.
Whoop, whoop.
We need confetti. Yay!
We need to figure out how to do that on the screen.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
So, techie people, hit me up. So, Keller Williams is actually the #1 real estate company in the world, and that's by the data driven on global agent count, closed volume, and then sales unit. So, really the trifecta, and that's been going on year over year over year. So literally we don't just say we're #1. Some companies kind of say that like we're the #1 team, but this is legitimately by production, by agent count. So that's really something you guys are able to say that you joined the #1 company in the world.
You guys too, also being a part of the Market Center in Montgomery, Alabama, are a part of the award-winning Southeast region.
Yeah.
So our region is normally #1. We
Yes.
are the largest region, but that doesn't matter.
Yeah. And that doesn't matter.
But we,
But
yeah, we're normally pretty much #1 in mostly everything.
And guys, our Market Center was #1 in the region this past month. I don't know if y'all saw that, but guys, it's pretty awesome. And so that means that we're growing exponentially, and you guys are key players in that. So we thank you guys, and as y'all continue to thrive and hit your goals, you're going to be, sharing your story, and you'll be helping us grow as well. So Susan's got her dental drill over here. So let's see. What is our next slide? Okay, our mission, vision, values, and belief and perspective are really important to us here at Keller Williams. It's something we talk about a lot, and it's something that's true to who we are. So our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. Our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for our agents and their customers, and that vision is coming to fruition right before our very eyes. So that's really exciting. Our belief system is the Y4C2Ts, and in Keller Williams we have our own language, our own acronyms, and all of that. So Cherie, the teacher in you're gonna love that.
I saw that yesterday.
So Vicki, our productivity coach, is actually the Y4C2T winner, which
Yes.
means she lives out this commitment and this belief system in her personal life and in her business life. And so we actually talked about this morning. She also was our cultural ambassador, and y'all probably saw that on our Facebook page. And so this means that as you're doing what you're doing in your belief system and your actions, as long as it's in alignment with this, you're also eligible to be nominated, to be recognized. And so we believe in win-win or no deal. We believe in integrity, do the right thing. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty, and success results through people. And there's a dance that Susan's going to do now.
No, team leaders are supposed to do the Y4C2T stands. Kate over here has not done her training very well in learning this dance. I'm working on it. I've been working on it since since she became the team leader, to get her to learn this dance and do it. Because she was a cheerleader in high school, so I felt like she could do it, right?
Katie,
Right?
I know, failure, right?
we'll work on it together, okay?
Y'all see me on TikTok. I'm over there Y4C2T.
So there's one thing that I don't see on here that's normally there.
It's
Is
right.
it? There it is. Okay, our screen was covering it up. But the one thing that I like to read about the MVVVP is our value, which is God, family, then business, which I think is very important in a lot of people's lives, whatever that means for you. But I think it's great that that's the value of our company. So I do like to point that out with we have a lot of acronyms here at KW. So, but the value is, I think that's a pretty important thing in people's lives. So,
Yeah, and it's pretty cool for those of you that have joined some of our training lately that we just freely talk about God in that and who whomever's belief system is also respected. So it's not just strictly one religion versus others. If you go to our national conventions and things, everyone is respected in who they worship. And so we're very belief-based company. We here in our office love to talk about that. So we open our ALC meetings with prayer, and we talk about our faith a lot. Our perspective is to be a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer consultant, and focuses all of its activities on service, productivity, and profitability. All right, so here is our executive leadership team, and that starts from the top with our operating partner or principal, depending on how you like to say that. OP is what we say, not OP, but OP is his acronym, and that's Adam Beams. A little bit about Adam: he got into real estate 4 years ago. Started out of Keller Williams in Tuscaloosa, followed the models and systems in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, and ended up growing a team. They got together. Last year, their production was $70 million. They got into Gary Keller's top 200 mastermind, which he is constantly checking the rankings in our company, and the top 200 in production and market centers or teams or individual agents or whatever gets recognized and gets special one-on-one sessions with Gary Keller. And so Adam's in that. He got the opportunity to purchase our franchise and become our operating partner in December. This actually started right at the Thanksgiving. So
Yes.
We've been under a transformation since then, and I'm extremely proud of all of the progress we've made. For those of you that have been in the office recently, it's completely changed. We've got new paint, new signs, new everything, and so we're really proud of it, and we can't wait till you guys are here in person to experience our environment. So that's Adam, and then there is, where's my thing? There we go. There's me.
You can introduce yourself, and then I'll do myself.
Okay, perfect. So I am the team
She
leader.
can tell you more about what she does.
I'm the team leader. Adam is the OP. He sets the vision and the tone for the market center, and he is not necessarily here all the time, yet he is holding us accountable to making sure that vision takes place. Let's see if somebody, just making sure. Okay, sorry. And so I am the CEO of the office, making sure that everything is in alignment. I am in charge of growth, productivity, profitability, training, all of the big picture things.
Chair the ALC.
I chair the ALC. Thank you, Susan. And so I am on a lot of appointments, a lot of consultations, a lot of conversations happen around growth and how the agents individually can grow, and then how us as a market center can grow. And so that's what I am. I'm primarily here in the office, always available to be emailed, text. I'll get right back with you as soon as I can. If you want a one-on-one session with me, we'll just schedule that appointment and make it happen. If you want to see something scary, I'll show you my calendar. Pretty fun. And so that's me, a little bit about me. I'm the I, which if you guys will learn about the disc, and everybody kind of has a thing. So I'm the I, which is the talker. You'll find that out.
I'm all the letters.
Yes.
I'm all 4 of them.
Susan's all the letters. I can't find my thing. I don't know why it keeps. There we go. All right, so this is Susan Sullivan, guys.
Yeah. Woo-hoo. I'm what they call the Market Center Administrator, or the MCA. So I'm like the CFO of the company. We don't take that title, but that is kind of sort of like kind of shows you like everything. I'm plus some. So I take care of everything financial in the market center. I take care of your commission checks, accounts receivable, accounts payable,
Expenses.
earnest money, expenses, all the things, budgets.
Profit and loss statement.
Yes, everything. So
Transmittal.
yes, transmittal. I just want to touch on that really quick. Is something that we do MCAs do in the company every month to close out the month on the first day, the first business day of the next month. You know, we shut our doors and go through all of the steps to transmit that data to international and to the region. So, and we'll talk about this a little bit more about the steps and the whole process to getting paid. But that is the one day that I am unavailable until I am through. And then when I'm through, I'm still kind of unavailable while I'm catching up with any closings or anything like that that came in. So that is the only one day that might delay anything that you guys have closed, right? So you turn in earnest money to the front desk. I process that. You know, I process binder releases, all of that stuff. Anything, you know, related to any of that, I do.
Anything with a decimal point or a dollar sign, Susan's in charge of.
Also, too, I check compliance. So when you guys have a closing coming up, you know, we ask that you submit your docs ASAP as soon as you have them. And then I check all of the compliance and let you guys know what's missing so that you can take care of it and get it signed before closing or either at the closing table, so that when you bring your check in, I can get you paid as quickly as possible. And, you know, when a deal is done, it's done. Nobody really likes to.
You don't
It
want to go
doesn't
back
really-
and go, oh, can
Yes.
you please sign this?
Yeah.
They're like, well, I just closed. I got my keys. I
So
don't need to do that. So we just try to prevent all of that and put in the systems. And that's what we'll talk to you about. And that's what Vicki will talk to you all about, is making sure it's incorporated on the front end so that any hiccup or anything can be handled quickly, efficiently, and it's not a situation where you're embarrassed to call somebody back and go, could you please sign this?
Right.
So we make sure that happens.
I guess I kind of sort of chair the financial committee, but
You do chair the financial committee.
you know, really no one joins that committee because we go over a lot
It's
of
dollar
things.
signs and decimals.
Nobody's like really jumping out to go, you know what, I want to talk money all, you know, like let me get on this committee. It's not a fun one, but you know,
For
our
most people.
company is open book. So at any time anyone wants to look at anything, you guys are welcome to ask for that information.
And we review it at ALC.
We do review it at the ALC meetings. We always, you know, recommend that you guys attend one or more to see how it all works. We hold them once a month. Everybody that first comes in, we love for you to see how this all works.
Yeah, and we want to say too, it's on your Trello board, and we'll get into the Trello board in a minute. But with the ALC, you're welcome to come and listen. Yet the voting items and speaking terms are only for ALC members and the chair to address. And so anything that you see pop up that you want to see happen, you'll submit or have a conversation with me and Susan or an email saying, hey, could this be addressed? And then it gets brought before the ALC, but anyone's welcome to come and kind of see, because we're really transparent. We're really about being open with what we're doing, and because we profit share, those numbers are really important to have a board reviewing them and making sure that everything is where it is, and so that our integrity is never questioned. That's really extremely important to us. What else, Susan? And some, and some, and some.
You know what, guys?
She had a medal this year. She got a medal for a family reunion.
I did. I received a silver medal. There's a lot of criteria that we have to meet in order to receive a medal. And they really kind of sort of make it rough on the team leaders because it's kind of hard for them. They expect the team leaders to do everything to be able to receive a medal.
That's okay.
But it's okay.
Y'all
Our
watch.
team leader's going to get there.
Y'all just
So,
watch.
my little silver medal, which was great to receive one because, you know, we all do work very hard in this market center. I'm sure, I mean, everybody does, but you know, it's just nice to be recognized for your hard work. So,
And they don't just give them out as participation either.
and
So
Katie was actually, like we talked about in the newsletter, and our market center being #1 in net agents and top 10 and gross agents and stuff like that. Her name was on that newsletter and she was recognized, and I was so happy. Of course, immediately I took a screenshot and put it out there because Katie's been working really hard. Vicki's been working really hard. Jaleesa and Adam setting the vision and working really hard. So anyway, we take it seriously, guys. We really did. We really did. So
speaking of,
Jaleesa, so Jaleesa Robinson is our Director of First Impressions, or our DFI. She assists everyone. So she assists me with the day-to-day operations in and out of the office. She helps
Schedule appointments.
yes, and with the onboarding, she reaches out to you guys and gets you guys set up with all the things. We are really trying to work hard on streamlining our systems in this office so that you guys get in and get transitioned very quickly and easily, right? So it's just like flow, right? So she assists you guys with day-to-day operations, any questions you have, copier, setting up your the print driver on your personal devices, faxing, scanning, copying. How do you do all that stuff? So she can help you with that. Plus some.
She's been sanitizing lately.
Yes,
all
yes,
the time.
cleaning, whatever. We all just do whatever, right? So she does do all of that, answers the phone.
And this is her email address, guys. I want to make sure that you know that this is not a spam, because we will be communicating primarily through her, and she puts out all the communications and things. So make sure that that's flagged. You have that marked. Any questions or anything can go directly to her, and then she'll get it to wherever it needs to go, because you'll miss out if it's going to spam. So just check and make sure you're getting that email address.
Add it to your, what do they call it?
Favorites,
Yes,
contacts,
whatever.
you know, we're a tech company, something
Yes.
like that.
So one of those things, right?
And then we have Vicki
Vicky
Wadsworth.
Wadsworth!
The hero, the
We should have
champion.
played some music.
We should
Oh,
have.
the music like Rocky, right?
Vicki, do you want to introduce yourself or do you want me to do it? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, she's muted.
Unmute, Vicki, unmute.
You can do it, Katie.
All right. Well, Miss Vicki Wadsworth joined us a year ago from a traditional company, and she has a history in the medical field. She was like a dialysis team captain, is that what you would say? Like over training, over organization, with a company that had similar culture and beliefs that we do. And she felt God telling her she needed to retire from that and sell real estate. And we've had some transitioning with getting to the point that she took the bull by the horns. She took all of the systems, tools, and models that Keller Williams had to offer. She capped in 10 months, her first year here with us. And she raised her hand and said, I want to go through the verification process and become the productivity coach. And that's something that the role we've been looking to fill for a while.
It's been a huge missing link. And I don't want to say that to make that sound negative, but
No,
it is
something we
definitely
need.
something that we needed in this office to
Like the next level.
complete,
Mhm.
I guess, our, you know.
Our executive leadership team. And so she has started the productivity coaching program. Last month, we opened it to our internal agents first and said, hey guys, y'all want to voluntarily jump in? We had 5 people jump in. All 5 people with gusto joined in. All 5 of them have business actively since the program. All of you guys, all new agents enrolled without production will be enrolled in the program for first few transactions to make sure that you have understanding of what to do, how to do it, how to grow your business. She has the goal setting sessions with you guys, and the whole point is to make sure that you get your license to sell real estate and to build a business. And so we want to make sure that you're able to do that successfully. We have a whole specific room just for that. So when everything opens back up, y'all will have your own designated space to grow and learn. And so we're thrilled to have Vicki with us.
And it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's awesome. All right, we have our qualifying broker, Jamian Campbell. She has been in the business 40 plus years. She's been the president of everything except the United States of America. And I'm talking on the state level, on the local level. She was just appointed as the real estate commissioner for our district. And so that's a really big deal. I don't know that there's anyone in Alabama that knows contract license law as well as Jamian Campbell. She instructs us here with all of our contract questions. If you need a broker to back you up, you can't have a better one. We're thrilled with her. Her email is here. Her phone number is also on the roster. If you have a question, contract question, And for those of you specifically in the coaching program, Vicki will walk you through a lot of that stuff. But she does teach the contract classes, and so you'll want to be sure to attend that. And then any question you have, you want to just shoot that over to me. And she loves it. She loves helping people. She loves the legality, that side of everything. And she knows a lot about Keller Williams because she was our former OP. And so we're glad to have her here with us, and it's an honor.
Yeah,
that she's here.
and guys, don't be afraid to text or email her. Like if you email her and maybe she hasn't gotten back to you within, you know, a few hours or maybe even a day, you might just want to shoot her a text and say, hey, I sent you an email, you know, with a breakdown of what's going on, explaining the situation, and then she'll go read it really quickly because she has so much coming in to her on a daily basis that, not on purpose, but she might miss something here and there. But when I tell you she is on it and this is what she does, don't be afraid to reach out to her about any broker questions, any document questions. If you've got a client, for instance, that's not your client, but maybe the other side, right? It's not wanting to sign in something, reach out to her and ask her, hey, what do I do? Jimmy Ann is always willing to reach out to the other broker because, you know, she's sometimes been around for a long time. So, I mean, they all know her. She's got a relationship.
Very respected.
Yes. And so, you know, she's willing to reach out and say, hey, you know, if the situation couldn't be handled by you guys with the advice that she's given you, then she's not afraid to reach out to get it where it needs to go.
So today we're going to cover a few things and in the world of KW besides just the introductory stuff. We're going to talk about Trello. We're going to talk about our office policies, how we've adapted during COVID. We'll go over the MyKW site, the Welcome tab, introduce you to KW Connect, the Tech-Enabled Agent page. We'll dive into some command features. We'll talk about the consumer app and then the Kelly app. And so again, if we go over anything, we're trying to, in a nutshell, introduce you. Really, we're dunking you in. And then Vicki's really going to be the one that helps break all this down into more bite size. Yet again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Or go back and watch this recording. We'll post it on our YouTube channel. So first, this is the Trello board. Does anybody have any we just implemented this. This is an online checklist to make sure, you know, as you're going through the process, you're able to understand each step of the way. Does anybody have any questions about the Trello? Maybe you don't understand how to use it. Would you like me to walk you through this is just a picture of it, some of the site to show you what it looks like?
Has everybody been invited? Like you guys all have?
You got the link.
Okay, so one thing I wanted to say, I know that I've talked to May Lynn about the Trello, and one thing that I noticed that we probably needed to touch on was there's a column down there on the end that says done. This is just a screenshot, so it's not going to show.
Okay.
But there's a column down on the end that says done, right? And this is kind of sort of like your checklist type of thing. It's like set up in the same.
Y'all see my screen?
Format that command is. So when you start your opportunities inside of command, you drag and you drop, right? So you drag and you drop each little card. So as you're doing all these things, you just drag it over into that done column and drop it into done.
Okay.
So yeah, I wanted to touch on that because I'm like, it's so large. Some people may not have even scrolled over yet to see that column, but so it's just, and these things are not like a mandatory, right? So these things are like, you know, these are things that we suggest that you do to get into KW, right? To
I
get
would say
set up
if you want to be successful, you're going to follow the systems inside of here as best you can.
And you know, like some of this may not apply. And if it doesn't, that's fine. You could move it over to the done column because you're like, doesn't apply, right? I'm very OCD about things. And so being that way, I'd be like, I need to move this. I have to move everything out of the column. So if it makes you feel better to move it to the done column, go ahead and do it. So if anybody has any questions, you guys are always welcome to reach out to Jaleesa or myself, and we'll talk to you about what's in your Trello board and help you out with it.
Yeah, we had some binders and paperwork and things like that, and what we realized it was kind of clunky and not usable. And so we wanted to, one, get everybody familiar with using technology, and seeing how it can help you and keep it in little increments where it could be a checklist format. And so that it wouldn't seem so overwhelming. And when you look at this, you may go, oh my gosh, this does seem overwhelming. Yet you can see the columns when you're waiting on your license to process, when you're getting set up, when you're productivity coaching items, like all of you, almost every single one of you can check off a ton of this. And so to move into your first 30 days, so that it doesn't just seem like I have to conquer Keller Williams. When we just talk about it's the largest company in the world, you don't have to tackle Keller Williams. You just need to see where Keller Williams plugs into your success right now. So does everybody feel confident and comfortable with Trello?
Yes, and I just wanted to add something Vicki said to us on a call. When you said you're not going to break anything, that helped me a lot. So I went in and just started playing with everything, and I didn't figure out I could drop and move and drop stuff, but that was helpful too. But I just wanted to toot Vicki's horn for just telling us you're not going to break it, play with it. So thank you, Vicki.
And hey, Vicki, how did you feel about technology a couple months ago even?
Oh my God, I just felt like, okay, I would never get this. I'm not a tech person. And with one of those awesome calls we had, they said, you will never say again that you are not a tech person. I don't say it because I have went in and I've moved around some stuff, didn't know what I was doing, and I discovered some things as I was doing it. That's how I know you would not break it.
Right.
You'll learn as you go.
And don't be afraid just to get in there. I mean, you know,
Yes.
a lot of people, and Keller Williams talk about limiting beliefs a lot. And so if you find yourself saying can't, even in your brain, that's a limit. You're limiting yourself.
Right.
And I had to
be open-minded.
Yes, I had to be sure. I didn't say I was not a tech person anymore because that was a limiting belief. And I know I can do all things because I know where my strength comes from.
Go ahead, Vicki Watson. We just have to have Vicki on every call. She's just got to be a guest star on every call. Okay, so let's talk about our market center. So 836, you're going to need to know that. It's kind of on a lot of stuff, yet our market center number is 836. Out of all of the Keller Williams offices, that is our number. So if you ever need anything market center specific, if you're ever registering for a large class that's KWRI puts on, you're going to need to know 836. And so that is our KW Montgomery. Our logo is at the top here. I'm going to do a slide on that. I do want to talk about, before we move to logos and signs, our COVID protocol. Right now, I think everybody should have received the email that says we're open back up. We had been closed for several weeks where we were just letting agents in. We're now allowing clients to come in. We're sanitizing. We're asking that everybody submit any appointments or anytime you're going to use the conference rooms. We have 2 that can accommodate a couple of people. And yet we're asking that, again, just like you're doing open houses, just like you're doing showings, you're limiting the number of people. So let's not bring the whole family in for signing time and things. We want to keep that limited so the exposure is down. And we've got 80+ agents right now. And so it can quickly get to a lot of people. Just keep that in mind as you're setting appointments. We don't want to hinder your business. We want to be available and open. We've been here the whole time.
We live together, guys,
yes.
so.
we have been here, and we just want to make sure you guys are aware. We're working extremely hard to make sure that everybody's safe. It's cleaned every morning and every night. We left supplies in the conference room up front, so if you need to use it over the weekend, just wipe it down after your use to keep it clean for the next person. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, except holidays. We have Wi-Fi and printer set up, and when you come in, you want to make an appointment with Jaleesa. I think that's on the Trello.
Yes, probably when you're done talking about that, we'll get back to the office hours.
Okay, and so she'll get you set up with the Wi-Fi, and I think we can add that to the Trello if it's not already. But the printer setup, she can help you set the driver so that if you come in and you're working on your personal device, you can easily print. It just takes a few minutes. You will want to set an appointment with her, though, to have that addressed.
Yeah, I wanted to touch really quick on the office hours that Kate was talking about. Now, this is just for leadership in the office, right? So these are our hours. You guys are welcome to come in at any time of the day and night. We have had some agents that they work better at 1 in the morning. It's really weird. But that's like their quiet time, right? They handle, what they need to do for dinner, family, whatever. And they would come in, sometimes 8, 9 o'clock at night and be here till about midnight or so. If you do come in after hours and no one is here, the light switches are pretty easy, but make for sure there's no security system or anything like that, but make for sure that as soon as you walk through that door and you know that leadership is not here, lock that door back behind you for safety purposes. You guys don't want anybody to walk in. And believe it or not, with having the restaurants up and down through here, a lot of people will come around and
just check it out.
I mean, I've been here after hours and heard someone trying to open the door, and whether it's for downstairs, which is the property management company, and maybe they wanted to drop something in the box, but they had questions and they were just checking it out to see if we were open, stuff like that. So just make sure that you lock the door behind you.
And on that too, any appointment that you have, say at 5:30, which you're welcome to have appointments at any time using our office. You'll have a key. If you don't yet have one, reach out to Jaleesa and she'll make sure that you get one. You're welcome to do so. Yet, Jaleesa is here from 8 a.m. She takes a lunch break and to 5 p.m. So if you have a client that you're going to meet at 5:30 and they come at 5, she cannot lock them in by themselves.
Right.
So be sure that if you have somebody that's going to come early, just let them know that our staff, our leadership team is actually going to leave at 5. They're welcome to sit here and come early, but they're going to have to sit outside of the office. We just cannot let anybody in here alone while they wait on you to come. And it's not fair to Jaleesa. She already works 40 hours a week to hang out and wait on somebody to come. So just make sure that you communicate that as well. Our phone duty list, we're about to do a second sign up of that. Currently, phone duty is not during office hours. It's from 5 p.m. to 8 a.m. and then all through the weekends. Right now, the last sign up we did, we only had 12 people sign up. So that was once a month, like people would have it for a month at a time. We're going to do another sign up soon. We do believe in your listing your lead. So if someone calls in and you answer the phone professionally, you take their information, and if it's a Keller Williams listing from our office, we're to direct that lead to the listing agent first. That will happen for you. It should happen for everybody else. And then if it's not a Keller Williams listing and you ask them if they're working with a realtor, you're welcome to take that lead and follow up on that, as long as it's not a KW and it's they're not represented by somebody else. If you would like to reserve our lovely training room, let me show you on the camera here if y'all have not seen it yet. It's kind of a big space. We can fit about 20 people in here. And this again is before COVID or after COVID, I would say. People would do seminars, first time home buyers, how to market your property, that sort of thing for lead generation, client events, training situations. You're welcome to reserve that for after hours. It has to go through the office. You'll sign up there. But right now we're asking that nobody really do that because of the people being together and breathing on one another. Yet when this all clears up, you're welcome to again utilize this facility for something like that, as long as it's real estate related for your business. So we'll get to the getting paid. Do you want to cover earnest money on this tab, or do you want to wait? Because we're going to command.
Well, yeah, we can. Well, let me go ahead. I mean, you guys all know, like if it's your listing, earnest money is brought into the office. Everyone is to turn, well, ask your client or not your client.
What the contract says.
If you're the listing agent, then it would be either the purchaser or the purchaser's agent, right? So if they bring it in, they give the earnest money to Jaleesa up front. She takes it, she completes a form so that we are making for sure that everyone knows that the earnest money was brought here. We have it, we receive it. She will scan that copy of the check along with that form to you guys. It lets us know the information. So like, because we always need to know, sometimes they might bring a money order and you can't read the signature, so we don't know the purchaser's name. And of course, I have to record the purchaser's name in my system because if a deal falls out and there's a need for a binder release, I have to make the check payable to the person that brought it in, right? So that's what that form is for. It's just to make sure we have all the information. We know the property address that it goes with, things like that. Because sometimes, you guys know, people drop it off and they don't put anything on it. They just sign it and they say, here, right? And so Jaleesa may reach out to you and ask you questions about this deal. If you guys have already created an opportunity inside of Command and you guys have the contract in there, docs, are already in there, she can research that and find it herself, but she may need to reach out to you. So just, everybody be patient with her. It's just so that we know where the earnest money goes.
Because you guys know from pre-license and those of you that are experienced agents, the earnest money has to be down to the penny and exactly match who handed it in, vice versa,
Right.
all of that.
And also too, when you guys, if a deal does fall out, we do have a binder disbursement form that is in our paperwork, all of our docs, right? Must be completed, signed by all parties, filled out correctly. There also must be a reason why. Jimmy Ann, as the broker, does not necessarily check those docs, but she has given me the authority to check those. And I do know that I am not to release any earnest money back unless there is a reason on the bottom of that form.
Yeah.
And it's all signed by the right people.
None of us want to go to real estate jail.
No.
And so we make sure that we follow those rules to a T.
Mm-hmm.
With the earnest money, guys, you want to have as much information for whether it's you're training the other agent and you're assuming that they know what to do. The property address needs to be on there and the purchaser name needs to be on there so that we can keep a record of that. Okay? Don't assume somebody's going to turn it in.
Yeah, and you guys know, if it's your listing, and of course that's the purchaser and purchaser's agent, you can't always control what they do, but we just ask that you ask them to please put as much information on that check or money order or whatever as they can possibly put on there so that we know exactly what it goes to. That helps me to get it deposited quickly. I do not hold earnest money for any reason. So if you guys, are not ready for that earnest money to be deposited,
do not have them drop
it off. So they need to hang on to it until they're ready, because it might be it got dropped off today and then tomorrow by whatever time I'm depositing it, but that's as long as it's going to go before I deposit. I'm not allowed to hold any earnest money.
No, it's got to be deposited immediately. And so that's why we've implemented that form. And with 80 plus agents, you guys can see how if we do have a Dropbox, so you are welcome to tell somebody they're welcome to use that Dropbox for earnest money. Yet again, we need as much information as possible, either on the envelope, on the check, whatever, because if we just have, and we share space with the property management company, you would be amazed at the people that y'all just come in and bring a check. They don't know what it's for. They may have got a friend to drop it off, or it's, so make sure that is, you would not think this is a problem, yet it is an opportunity.
Yeah, well, and also too, a quick story about sort of the reason why we implemented this form and all of these things is because another NCA in another office that I actually work with often, we bounce questions off of each other, but she told me a story about an earnest money. It was a $10,000 earnest money that she just was convinced she dropped off and was coming to the market center saying, hey, you guys are going to have to cover this $10,000 because you lost the check. And this MCA was like, I absolutely did not receive this. Anyway, they found it eventually, but it was in the agent's car and had been riding around in the car for months and months and months, right? And I think it was on a new construction. So we were like, you know what, that helps. You guys know what has gone down. We all know what's, just helps us. And I was like, oh, that's scary. So I was like, yeah, that's a good idea to put this in place. So,
so we keep it lined up pretty quickly. All right, so signs and logos. In my KW, we'll go in there and we'll do a demonstration in a minute, but there's a marketing tab and it's got where the signs and logos, you can download the identity and style guideline. That's also in your Trello board, which it shows all of the criteria for signage, for branding, for everything. Make sure, anything ordered, one, you need to send me a proof of it so that I can verify, yes, this is complying. Two, it has to say, you see the top logo, KW Montgomery Keller Williams Realty. If it simply just says KW, that is not our brokerage, right? It's the franchise, but we have to be brokerage specific. It's Alabama license law. Cherie, the champion logo designer over here, this is her example of what she sent me the other day of some of her options. And so you see how it's got the color Pantone? You've got to make sure that's in that identity style guide. And the logo is under 836. You can download a zip file. So if you're sending something to a printer that is not already using KW Montgomery, they're going to need that zip file to see the different versions of the logo for the graphics. In the middle is an example of a perfectly fine, good sign. Y'all can use the arm signs like that. You can use the push them in the yard with the metal thing.
H-stake.
Or yes, or the little woody stake. You know, guys. Anyway, so you're free to use that. Just please send it to me before you purchase anything or order anything, just so that we can verify. We have had instances where people have ordered things, paid for it, and it was not in compliance, yet they did not realize it. So we don't want to pay for anything. On the far left, that is an example of marketing content made in Command on one of our listings. Everything you share in social media, your social media profile, everything has to have that brand on there, that brokerage. So make sure you know how to find the logo, how to place the logo, and what to do with it.
And also, if you've noticed, guys, in any of our emails that we send to you, I'm not sure about Katie's, but I know mine and Jaleesa, at the bottom of that email, that logo is there, and you can literally just right click and copy that image if you can't find it anywhere else. So, but I mean,
there's
it's
versions with the white background, with the clear background, so you could just put it on like a picture. There's all white, there's all gray. There's a bazillion versions of it. Just make sure you know how to find that. It's in our Google Drive. It's in My KW. It's in your Trello. So you should be able to find this easily. The bottom right is an example of a email signature that is from Command, a template in Command. And it even has a spot, you may not be able to see it from where you guys are, but the little download and the arrow where you can put your app link. So even on every email, somebody would have an opportunity to download your app. So just remember that. Does anybody have any questions about logos or branding? Okay. All right, let's talk about Red Day.
Yay! Oh my gosh, guys.
Red Day this year was so special. So Red Day came about because we have a cultural icon, Mo Anderson, in our company. She just turned 83. They started this Give Where You Live, coming from contribution. She was the only real estate industry woman CEO at the time. She's been one of 3 people that's ever been the CEO of Keller Williams. She's really, we call it celebrity. So she's like a Keller Williams celebrity. And so they did this Day of Service in celebration of her for her birthday. And I don't know how many years ago they started it. But Red Day stands for Renew, Energize, Donate. And so for all Keller Williams offices, the second Thursday.
It's the second Thursday of every May.
Every May.
Every year.
Everybody closes their office doors to business. No business is done. It's like a holiday. And instead, they give back to the local community. In years past, we visited nursing homes. We've done Habitat for Humanity. We've done blood drives, clothing donation, material donation. This year, we raised money and gave back to our local first responders at Haynes Ambulance. And so it was really a cool experience. And so this is what we had that went out, advertisement. And this is some pictures of the day. We got to tour the helicopter, the life flight. We partnered with local restaurants and
we partnered with local restaurants because everybody knows during, with the whole COVID-19 going on that, a lot of restaurants locally have not been able to really sustain. And so we also, when we were getting together and meeting and talking about all of this, our agents service the Tri-County area. So it's not just Montgomery, right? And a lot of the times we do a lot of things in Montgomery, which is fine. But I was like, we'd really like to include everybody that we can in this. And so, you know, we chose Haynes. You know, their Wetumpka location services Elmore and Autauga County, and then of course, you know, we partnered up and also fed the Montgomery one. So, you know,
About 150 crew members.
Well, in the one place, right? Or was it total? It was total? Okay. And so, yeah, partnered up with Bojangles and East Chase, and then Hog Rock locally in Wetumpka. But it was so, I just felt like, you know, Red Day, it's special anyway, right? But like, I actually have, you know, several friends that work for Haynes, and when I reached out to talk to the supervisors over the ambulance departments and stuff, you know, I was
They
like,
were
wow,
so
grateful. They said these guys work from whatever time in the morning, 7 a.m., you know, their shift doesn't end till 7 a.m. the next day. They may go till midnight and they haven't eaten anything. Or if they did, they dumped out a can, you know? And so it was a great idea, I thought, but like just hearing how grateful that they were, just to me, was one of the best Red Days that I participated in. But every single one of them are special, right? But I really thought, you know, this is a great thing. And it was good too to get out there in some of these other communities. You know, we're here based out of Montgomery. So sometimes, you know, these other communities may not, you know, see what we do with our company to give back and the culture of our committee, our company. So,
And coming back from contribution,
right.
From contribution, we're really big on that. One of our agents, Morgan Granger, is a
Yes.
Haynes EMT.
Yes.
So that was really cool. So anyway, we look forward to you guys.
There is
participating
a
with us.
culture committee that normally gets together and kind of runs over ideas and stuff. This year it did not kind of go that way because you know, COVID happened. And so you guys always, you know, next year or whenever, if you guys are, and they don't just do Red Day, right? But I think we'll get into the committees a little bit later on, right? Or no?
Yeah. Yes, we will.
So, but anyway, if you guys are interested in any committees, reach out and ask.
So we have a couple of organizations. The Red Day comes from a branch of Keller Williams, is KW Cares, and it's Keller Williams' answer to to the Red Cross. We have Keller Williams, Kids Can, and then Bold. And on the commission opportunities, you'll have, when you do a commission request, you have an opportunity to give back. 2 of these are nonprofits. One is not, and we'll explain that to you, but I want to do a quick little videos of these, and we'll be doing several quick little 1 or 2 minute videos, and it just helps explain about these organizations and about more of the Keller Williams, what makes it so special.
When Hurricane Florence came through, it just a flood of water.
We're down here in New Bern with Keller Williams Cares.
The Carolina region has been extraordinary in responding to this emergency.
We are here in New Bern and we are ready to rock and roll. We've had volunteers come from all over the country to help us.
So when you go into the house, the very first thing the leader of the group will do.
The agents have all come together to support our agents in need.
So I would say over the next 2 weeks, we'll probably top over 1,000 volunteers.
We've been working very hard, cleaning out houses, trying to support people in any way we can.
We look for work crews of 6 to 8 people.
I called KW Cares, the crisis line, and they were out here the very next day.
We've got generators, we've got cleaning supplies.
We would love shovels, also wheeled trash cans.
They gave my mother a generator, they gave us gas, and now they're here cleaning out my son's house.
Just the fact that we're here, showing them that we care, that is as important as going in and demucking these homes.
It would have been a long road if KW Cares wasn't here.
We have a lot more to do. We've been in it for a week, and I can tell you we're going to be here for quite a bit longer.
We say Keller Williams is a family, and that's exactly what it is.
When you see how you're changing lives, it will change your life forever.
KW Cares is one of the greatest examples of what families do.
Okay, now we have the KW Kids Can.
My generation wants to change the world, to realize our full potential and live life to its fullest. But we need the guidance and tools to make that dream a reality. That's what draws us to attend QL, a World Changer Mindset by KW Kids Camp. In 2015, KWKC set out with a vision to dramatically change the lives of young people everywhere. In just 1 year, they have empowered thousands of motivated millennials across America and in countries around the world. Powered by Gary Keller's Quantum Leap, the QL program introduces powerful concepts and models that inspire us to see the world and ourselves in an entirely new way. We leave QL ready to achieve our goals and live a life of intention. Together, we will change the world. To learn more about KWKC's mission and to get involved, please visit kwkc.org.
So
My generation wants to
okay. Kids Can is like a training camp that they do in summers for, I want to say it's like 18 to 26-year-olds. And you can sign up. Some top producing agents and teams actually buy and lottery kind of to their database the opportunity for their young adults to go to this program. It was started by Gary Keller as Quantum Leap for CEOs of other companies and other industries and how to think big. And so it's now translated to young adults to be able to do the same thing. And then we've got Bold, and we'll move on. Right now we're doing Bold 2.0, and it's all online on Facebook. It's been really cool.
Hi, I'm Gary Keller, and I just want to take a second and talk to you about your real estate career. I get asked all the time, Gary, if there was just one thing that I could do that would have the biggest impact on my career, what would that be? And honestly, without even having to think about it, I tell them you need to get bold. But seriously, I think you need to get bold. You need to take our Bold program. Now, here's just a few facts I want to share with you about Bold. You know, the current average of contracts per real estate agent while in Bold is 14.2 contracts in just a 7-week period. Bold increased written units of attendees by 50%, sold units by 50%, and GCI by 114%. Those who got Bold and had 46 years experience in the business had 44% more written units, 41% more sold units, and 35% more GCI than those with 4 to 6 years experience who didn't attend so. Those who got Bold and had 7 to 10 years experience had 44% more written units, 35% more sold units, and 20% more GCI than those with 7 to 10 years experience who didn't attend Bold. You get the point? Sales associates with 40,000 to 50,000 GCI had 78% more units written, 62% more closed units, and 130% increased GCI than they did before they attended. So what do I think when I hear all that? I think you need to get Bold. I'm going to tell you the secret is the program does work because it gets you to do what you need to do. It holds you accountable to do it. And you know, one of the toughest things about our business, we're independent contractors. We want all the freedom. At the same time, we struggle with the challenge of holding ourselves accountable. Bold's not only going to teach you what to do, it's going to help you find a way to be accountable to do it. I think you ought to do it. I know I would do it. I did one last night. I think you ought to do it 10 times. I'm not kidding. I think you ought to do it 10 times. The first time you take it, you ought to pretend like you're in the first grade or second grade. I want you to think about every time you take it, you take 1 or 2 year leap in your education. 10 times gets you out of high school, gets you out of college. So until you've mastered Bold, don't know that your business doesn't need it. Good luck.
So other than the thunder effects, guys, Gary has not updated this video yet, and I like how he explains it and where they came up with it. Bold is business objective life by design. It typically is on rotation every fall, and normally in Birmingham, we have to kind of travel to Birmingham. They just reformatted it and did everything online, and they're not doing it 7 weeks right now. They're doing it the month of May on Facebook Live. And so that's been really cool to participate in. It's been really neat to see. It's more of a condensed version, but they're updating scripts. They're updating all of the materials to reflect COVID. And so that's one thing that Keller Williams has been really intentional about, is leaning into our circumstances and making sure that everybody is prepared. Our training is reflecting the shifting market and all of that. So anyway, let's see. Let me go back to my thing. Okay, now I have a profit. I've got a couple more videos if you need to go do something and then come back for permission. Yeah. It's up to you. I got a couple more videos before I get into. Okay, now we got a profit share video. Gary Keller says money is good for the good it can do, and everybody here filled in a binding sponsorship agreement. And so I just want to show you guys real quick a demonstration on this and how you can explain it to others. And sometimes people don't understand it really well, so we want to make sure you guys
We
are familiar
refer
with
to
it.
profit share and growth share as passive income because once a productive agent names you as a sponsor, if they're in any profitable market center in the United States or Canada, you can receive a portion of that profit. Or if they're in any other country, you can receive a portion of the ongoing franchise royalties, which is automatically deposited into your account. You can sit on the beach and receive growth share and profit share. Now that's passive income. It sounds like fun, and it is fun, but there's a smart business principle behind it. Gary Keller explains that the systems are programs that allow associates to build a business inside a real estate company that is as powerful as if they owned the company themselves. This means that if you are a part of a market center's growth trajectory, you can be rewarded off of the success of the company. However, unlike owners, you don't need to invest any capital. Your opportunity is entirely passive. You have no financial risk, no legal risk, and no down payment. Why would a company do this? Because when someone names you as their sponsor, you've helped the company grow. And profit share and growth share are Keller Williams' way of thanking you. It's a win-win, and win-win is an integral business building block in our Keller Williams Realty system. The exchange of work for income is expected. Passive income has a different formula. Rather than exchanging labor for income, you rely on your vision. You think long-term. Plant a seed today. Give the other agent in one of your transactions a shift or an MREA book. And they may or may not join Keller Williams and name you as their sponsor tomorrow. But in time, the seeds you plant can grow into a profit share and growth share tree that provides you and your family with new opportunities and security. The opportunity is unlimited and the potential immense. Associates who have made the decision to participate in the program have seen their lives changed forever. Profit share and growth share enabled them to send their children to college, pay for medical bills, support their communities, provide financial relief to others in need, to travel. Simply put, to live their lives the way they want to. And depending on the laws in your country, growth share and profit share can be willed to a beneficiary. This opportunity isn't for other people, it's for you and your family. You have the opportunity to collect passive income. It's a win-win.
And for those of you that have seen The Office, you've seen the big check that we have on Susan's wall as far as our profit share. And so right now, the first quarter of the year, we have not been profitable at the Market Center, and we're just transparent about that. COVID hit, and although we cut our expenses, we have not bounced up. Yet we see a huge trajectory up in the coming months in quarter 2, 3, and 4. And so we're excited to fill in that check. And for those of you that have people coming on that you're referring to me to have conversations with, and those of you that have people and you're growing your downline, y'all are going to see that pay off tenfold. And so it's a stream of income. We do know these days you can't save enough money to be wealthy, that you have to also have different streams of income. And so for those of you with dual career, you're already at 2 with real estate. If you participate in profit share, that's working on 3. And so it's all about wealth building. We talk about that a lot in Keller Williams. And it's an opportunity. So this is an opportunity map in the KW world. So at the bottom, you start as an agent, and then it goes up with immense opportunities. As we talked about, Vicki started here as an agent. She contributed and participated in profit share, and then she went up to the productivity coaching. I started as a single agent and then made my way up to the team leader position. And so the opportunity is the same for you. And it's the reason why it's such a benefit to being such a huge, large company is because whatever you set your sights on, we are here to help you do that. We are not going to hold you back. So if you have a vision to create X amount of dollars in passive income, we can help you make that happen. Or if you want to have a huge team, we can help you build a foundation to get to that point. If you're interested in becoming a team leader, a market center administrator, a director, it's endless. And so I'm going to play this video. I really enjoyed this video that I saw the other day. I thought it was a good explanation of the opportunities inside of Keller Williams, and I hope that you guys would see the benefit in watching it too.
Hey everybody, Mike Z here. We talk a lot inside Keller Williams about our value proposition as a company. What does that even mean? As an agent, I pay a cap to my market center. What value do I get in return? Well, the simple answer is you determine what value proposition you get inside the company. It's totally up to you. There's no one size fits all. There's no right or wrong. There's tons of opportunity inside Keller Williams. This is our opportunity map. And then you decide what you want to plug into and when you want to plug into it. How does that work? How do I plug into these opportunities? Well, let me give you a real world example. I'm going to talk about my business partner, Laura Strunk, one of my favorite people in the company. She came into Keller Williams as an agent, and she was a great agent to the point where she didn't have enough time to service all her clients. So she realized if she wanted to have more time and more money, she needed to really start succeeding through others. So Laura raised her hand to be on the Agent Leadership Council, which is a forum designed by Gary Keller to specifically help people develop their leadership skills so they can succeed through others. She used those skills to build a team, and she became a mega agent team. She started benefiting so much from what was inside Keller Williams that she wanted to share it with her friends at other companies that could also benefit from it. So she introduced Keller Williams to a lot of her friends, and she started building her agent profit share tree. Later on, she self-discovered that as much as she loves working with buyers and sellers, she gets more enjoyment, more psychic reward from helping agents build their businesses. So she raised her hand and said, I'd love to be a productivity coach. So we took her through the career visioning process and she became our productivity coach. In fact, she was so great at it that when we decided to acquire another market center, you're such a great leader, you know the systems, models, and tools, well, you do it with me. So Laura became an investor in a market center with me. After that, we decided to launch a title company, and Laura was an investor in that as well. Laura then decided that, you know what, I want to be more effective in helping other people. So instead of just meeting people one-on-one, I want to be a great instructor. So Laura trained the presenter and trained the presenter advanced, and she became approved faculty inside of Keller Williams University. Around this time, because we're networking all the time with other top leaders in the company, top agents, an opportunity presented itself to invest in one of the worldwide regions, so we did that together. Laura and her husband, Laura's originally from Massachusetts. We're here in Maryland. She's operating a team here. She's the PC here. She was a market center title company with me. They decided to relocate up to Cape Cod. They always wanted to be there. So Laura relocated and she started an expansion team in Cape Cod. She also kept her team here, also being a PC here. And now, recently, that market center discovered, you know what? We've got amazing talent on our hands here with Laura, and they invited her to be a team leader of the market center. So that's the way we open ourselves up to opportunity. We go to local events in our market center. We plug into our market center. We serve there. We go to regional events. We go to national events. And we take advantage of what I consider the #1 opportunity in Keller Williams that's not on this map. And that is our culture is to share and help each other. We are the best networking company out there, all industries as far as I'm concerned. So you network with people who are market center investors, who are PCs, who are team leaders, wherever you want to be, whatever you want to plug into, find people who are doing it, call them up, go visit them, and find out how they got there, and then you plug in too. Here's all the opportunity inside Keller Williams. You determine your value proposition. I determine mine. Take care, everybody.
I really like the way that he explained that, and I love that it's there for all. The opportunity is equal, outcome is not. And so it depends on, we've been talking a lot about your big why and your vision and your personal goals. And if it's out there, you want to do it, we'll find somebody for you to meet. And whether right now, as you're first starting getting your license, you just want to see a seasoned agent in action, right? Or somebody's at this certain production goal you want to have. Let's talk to them, go to them and be like, hey, how did you get started? What did you do? And I promise you, if that individual is a Keller Williams Realty agent, they're welcome, like they want to help you. They want to mentor you. I've seen that in my own life as an agent, as a team leader, and so as in leadership anywhere of the region, Keller Williams International. You guys, I have struck up friendships by just networking and having conversations with people. Top, and I'm talking about top in our company, which is top in the industry, which is top in the world. So like, we're all just people and we're all here to help each other out. And so would you guys like to take a quick 5-minute break, because it's a lot to cover and I don't want to just bore you to death. I want to give you guys freedom to, if you need it. And when we're here in person is a little bit different, but I don't want to just keep droning on. Y'all want to take a quick 3-minute break? Anybody need that, or y'all want to keep going? Are we good? Good to go? Okay. Just don't want to be droning on for you guys. Okay. So next we have the ALC. So the ALC is our Associate Leadership Council, and that's chosen year over year, and it's part of Keller Williams being built by agents and for agents. The ALC is the voice to the brokerage. In a traditional model, the broker is the decision maker, is the end all be all. Maybe they might have a managing broker or like an owner, somebody like that. It's just kind of like they make the decisions, and not necessarily the agents don't get to participate and say, hey, we wish that this would happen. We'd like to take a look at the expenses or things like that. So we being open book, it fits right on in the Associate Leadership Council. It's part of the opportunity map to move up in the company. Other offices, when they're looking for referrals, they look to someone in leadership. The leadership gets to teach classes, mentor people, and have a voice in the decisions made. Each Associate Leadership Council member, right now we have 4. This year we have Kim McElroy, AJ Hales, Tamara Hockenhall, and Gloria Frazier. And so that's decided upon, interviewed, and chosen from the top 20% in production around October, November each year for the next year. They attend certain training on how to be leadership in the market center. And so we follow a strict agenda for our monthly meetings. I chair the leadership committee, and then Susan and Adam also participate. So it's equal voice for all. They all also chair a committee. We have several committees in the office, and that's one thing I have a vision for, is to see those committees bloom and grow. So we have culture, we have finance, which Susan was talking about earlier. We have technology to keep up with all things that's going on in the technology world and to help bring that to our attention. We have growth, and so how can we love on and bring value to our realtor community? We have safety, to make sure that we're aware of all of the best safety practices and know about how to maintain that level of safety and acknowledgement in our businesses. And then, am I missing something? I'm just off the top of my head. I think that's it. So if there's something that you're interested in that I mentioned, reach out and we'll connect you with the committee chair for that. And they're supposed to have meetings where everyone is heard out and everybody's idea is seen and heard, and decisions are developed from that. All right, so let's talk Command. Who has heard about Command? I don't see hands, but all of you should have at least heard about Command at this point. It is our technology platform. It was introduced, well, it was developed about 4 or 5 years ago. Gary Keller, eccentric as he is, said, hey, we're not just a real estate company, we're a technology company. And the real estate industry laughed him to death. They were like, you are crazy, Gary Keller. Well, that was before technology was really becoming popular and necessary, and then COVID has exacerbated all of that. And so we took, and in partnership with Google, built a platform that is created from the big data, and because we profit share and we have been sharing profit since the 80s, all that data has to be kept up with somewhere. And unbeknownst to Gary Keller in the 80s, he kept up with all that data, and that gave us the basis to build the platform and to have the artificial intelligence. So we have a platform command that connects us with our learning, it connects us with a cloud, it connects us with the consumer app, and it connects us with Kelly, so that all of this talks to each other to help the agents. And how this came about was Zillow, you guys have heard that, it's a naughty word in the real estate community, came around and said, hey, to talk to local boards, hey, can we get your data? We'll advertise your listings for you. So all the local boards said, oh, well, that's a great idea. Thank you so much. What we didn't know, what we didn't research, was that Zillow would end up taking our data we put into MLS and selling it back to us as leads. And so the numbers last year, the year before, was they had sold like quadruple the number of leads. It was like 158 million leads were sold, and only 5.7 million units of real estate was sold that year. They don't care about the accuracy. They have said blatantly they don't care about the realtor. They would like nothing more than to not have realtors. And so, as Jason Abrams so eloquently put it, we invited the baby elephant in our house to eat, and then we couldn't fit anymore. And so Gary Keller actually talked to Zillow and tried to come to amiable agreement together for the benefit of the realtor. And he just said, at that point, I knew I either had to retire, sell my company, get out of the business, or stand up and fight. And so when he decided that about 4 years ago, he said he was a tech company, and people were like, you're crazy, came up with this platform. And in the past year, it's really been developed for the advantage of the realtors to be not just a CRM, but so much more than that. So let me play the video for that. And the reason I like these videos, y'all, is because it explains it so much better than I do, and it's kind of fun. All of these videos and things have been shown during family reunion and our big conventions, and it's really exciting to see them. Let's see, it starts with the app, and that's not right. Let me go back, guys.
A few years ago, we gathered all the smartest people we knew: agents, market centers and regional leaders, technologists, data scientists, and asked them some big questions. What does it look like when technology is simple, smarter, and more human? How can we ensure agents stay at the center of the transaction where their clients want them? How do we accomplish this while eliminating the cost? It's called Command, and it's going to change the way we do business. Start by adding contacts directly, or through a simple voice command with Kelly. All calls, texts, notes, and any other customized fields are synced automatically across all platforms. When you add a new contact to Command, a neighborhood is automatically associated with their address. That way you can share the most pertinent information, such as migration patterns or median home price. Marketing materials have evolved from one-to-many to one-to-one, providing value at the home and neighborhood level for everyone in your database. And with Command, your business is not restricted by IDX. Wherever your clients are, there you are. Another challenge agents identified was the complexity added to the transaction by piecing together different systems connected by spreadsheets. We solved this by ensuring Command aggregated offers, documents, and communications with your client and broker, all in one place. Get a quick overview of your listings, appointments, contracts, closed deals, revenue projections, and customized reporting. Command shines a light on your business so you're never left in the dark. Housed within the Command dashboard is Lead Accelerator, an intelligent marketing tool. It leads through ROI and AI-optimized ad campaigns across Facebook, Instagram, Google AdWords, Twitter, and an ever-growing list of channels in seconds. And campaigns aren't limited to the digital space. Quickly set up and deploy a modern print marketing campaign to specific homes identified based on your criteria. That means brand awareness grows and leads flow faster with far less spend. And if you think you have to be a computer scientist to take advantage, rest assured, because Command was built hand in hand with agents. It's designed to be used by agents, by you. Simple, smart, human. Command puts you in control of your database, your business, and your future. It's time to take command.
What do you guys think about that?
A few years ago, we gathered all...
Shh, stop yelling. What do y'all think about that? Participation. And I'll just sing to myself. So if you were in the P&L class, and why this is important, y'all, if you were in the P&L class the other day, Delana touched on how much they were paying for their CRM, and it's upwards to $1,800 a month. And that's the #1 team in our state. So people are paying thousands of dollars for this technology. And what did not increase when the technology increased and the support and the app? Our monthly fees did not. Our technology fee that we pay every month, $35, it goes directly to this, and it did not increase with the usability and the support. So here's a little bit about the app. This is what's really exciting, guys, and you want to be able to share this with everybody you know, okay? Because it's really awesome. It's really cool. So essentially what this app does, and it was just updated and released in February for the first time. And so you guys are really, if you go ahead and adopt this, you're going to be early adopters to this. This little piece of content I created in Command. So you can share this. Everybody has their unique app link in Scott Leroy. When you did your questionnaire, that link is on there. So if you share that out to everybody, anybody that gets on there and registers will have you as their agent. And so anything they're looking at, one, it goes into your Command database, and we'll talk about why that's important in a minute. And two, it recognizes you as the agent. So if they want to refer you to somebody, they'll just share your app, right? And so it's really a neat thing. We came up in the ranks from not having, or having really an outdated app, to having this app, and it's moved up the real estate search apps next to Realtor.com and Zillow. So that's extremely powerful, and you want to make sure that you're sharing that with your people. Okay. And then Kelly, you want to download Kelly. That was also in your Scott Leroy, and it connects both the consumer app and your database. Okay, so make sure that you get in there. You'll log into everything with your KW credentials. And so that's the end of the slideshow. Now we're going to dive a little bit into Command and what it is. So how you get to Command is you go to agent.kw.com. No, I lied. I wrote wrong. Oh, no. I'm trying to, no. We're going to MyKW. It just pulled up like Command. So, or mykw.kw.com. And that's where we're going now. I'm sorry. I thought I was that other one. So you log in with your credentials.
The credentials, your login information would have come in that welcome email from me. Just hit refresh. Still having problems. Hey guys, if you see this, you get this error message. You might need to just close your browser and then come back in, because there's been, this is known. I guess they're working on some things, so there's
they're updating.
It's kind of slow to come in right this minute, but they are working on it.
Okay, and this is our intranet. All right. So based on the questionnaire that you filled out with Scott Leroy, that's going to set up your profile and everything. But Susan's email, you should have at this point gotten at least 3 emails. You got Jaleesa's email that said welcome and first steps. It gave you all of our social media profiles, and it gave you your Trello board. And then you get an email from Susan with a lot of first steps, which we're going to go over. And then you do the questionnaire from Susan's email, and then you get an email from Scott Leroy. Do not, those first 3 emails that come through, don't delete those, right? You want to keep those because you may need to come back to them later as you go on.
Right. Mm-hmm. So in that welcome email, my first, of course, I set up you fill out an agent information form in your paperwork, and then I take what you would like to use as your password and get you guys in the system and create your, update your password, get your email already requested so that we can move quickly on business cards and all. So you guys are set up with that. And then you will follow the questionnaire, fill that out, and Scott Leroy goes in, and he's our virtual tech concierge. Market Center pays for that for you guys. So I utilize them for any tech questions, videos, training, support, anything that you have. If we can't help you, a lot of the times that's what we will say, hey, reach out to Scott Leroy, or even if you forward it to us, we may forward it to them and be like, we don't know the answers, because he does a lot of setup on the back end. So in my email, I walk you through how to log into the intranet, take a look around. So this is your first step, will be hover over the home tab and click on Welcome New Associates, right?
Don't be afraid, you're not going to break it.
Right. And each one of those tabs has lots and lots and lots of information. And even if you look at one tiny little thing a day, that's fine. So here's your Welcome New Associates page. Here's your first steps, get plugged in. Each one of these blue words in blue is a link that takes you, Katie says it's an action item. Mm-hmm. So if you click on the words in blue, it takes you to whatever that's right, what it's talking about. So it'll take you to another page, and you can read and check it out and take a look and all that stuff. Boost your production, stay informed, and then at the bottom it says next steps, right? Logos and branding, which you
Look,
guys,
we already talked about that.
Yeah. Listing presentation, buyer guide, social media graphics. Scott Leroy has there's graphics everywhere. Just
you have
everywhere.
An excellent ability to brand yourself.
Yes. KW Gmail, you don't have to do that part because I will have already done that for you. On the Trello board, we ask you to take a look and read up on the benefits package that's offered. So that's pretty much it. It's just step by step. Click on these things as you go. Read up, watch videos. You know, this is Connect. It kind of works kind of sort of like a, to me it kind of works like Facebook, right?
It's
So
like
you got
Facebook
like
or YouTube kind of together.
you got like a profile you set up inside of Connect as well. And then you've got, you can join to be friends, right? You can be friends with people. So you can follow users in there and, you know, they might follow you or whatever. So it's kind of cool.
And that's at the bottom here, what she's talking about following people. It's and a little bit like LinkedIn. So Gary Keller, Josh Team. Josh Team is our vice president. He's the tech guy that Gary hired and said, hey, you're a tech engineer, come help us. You see our vision and all that. So he's really fun and cool. Let's see. We wanted to do the tech-enabled agent page to show them that, correct? That wasn't on this list, it was on the other one. Real quick on this one, if you have more kind of questions on different features, we're gonna highlight some, but see how it says, hi Katie Woodard, what are you looking to do today? It follows your login. So if you're looking for some app details, if you need some tech support, or you know, different things, it's got these different categories, and if you click, it goes further, right? It has videos, it has checklists, it's gonna be a resource. Again, play around with that sort of thing. All right, what do we got next on ours? Going into Command, right?
Yeah, so next we were gonna go into Command. So Command is our platform for all the things.
Agent.kw.com.
Yes. That's how you log in. Again, same credentials, right?
Not those.
Not those, but your same credentials that you used to log into mykw.kw.com.
And if you save it, then every time.
Yes.
You just want to know it, maybe put it in your phone in your notes. So if you come into our office or you use a different device, we see all people all the time going, oh my gosh, it's just saved on my home thing. So just put it somewhere else where you can access it again. Haven't we learned that, Vicki?
Yeah.
Look at Vicki Wadsworth out in the sunshine.
I know, we're gonna go have an office at the farm.
Yes.
All right, so this is the dashboard. You can put in your goals, which the Welcome New Associates email shows you how to do that. You can rearrange this whole thing to make it look how you want it to look. As always, you know, kind of different stuff. Look at my mama signing in on this app I just shared with her. I just want y'all to see this. Sandra McCullough, a few seconds ago, because I said, hey mama, you need to get this app, start playing with it. And y'all, my husband, share it with your spouse, your best friend. Somebody say, just play with this and let me know what you think. Because you know what, as soon as they start playing with it, it's gonna show up in your command and you start having an understanding of it. Plus they really love it. Because my husband is all the time sending me messages. Let's buy this house. Will you buy me this house? Can we live here? So anyway, at the bottom, you'll see any recent leads, anytime somebody has downloaded or gone to your special site or anything like that. Okay, so we're gonna walk you through what you're going to need to know how to do. There's a lot of features, there's a lot of cool things, but to literally run your business, if you have somebody today that says, I want you to list my house or be a buyer, these are the steps you need to know.
Also, too, guys, you will log in. Yours will look a tiny little bit different because this Command MC Market Center. So all of our offices are called Market Centers. You guys will not see that part.
You're not going to see this tab, but you'll see the Command
and the Connect.
Okay, so if you see all these little icons here, you don't have to automatically, magically know what they are. You hit the little square at the top, and it pops out the menu. So you can see what each thing is. We're gonna start with contacts. So
everybody should have a database, right? If you don't have like a large one, you've started, right? Because you guys are in.
Building that database. And that starts with your sphere. It starts with anybody you know. And you wanna start with the first people that you're gonna tell you're in real estate. If you can't think of anybody, go to your phone book. Everybody but the Pizza Hut needs to go in Command.
I mean, you might want the Pizza Hut to know. I'm just saying.
They also look to buy and sell, but you might not want the delivery line. Okay. And you won't go to your Facebook. Go to all your Facebook friends. Start entering in their names. Go to Instagram. Go to LinkedIn. These are the people that you want to let know you are now a real estate professional. Or Kathy Williams, I know you're not on Face, but can you unmute and tell us why the database is important? Are you with me, Kathy? So Kathy just joined us, and she's got about 20 years in real estate in her career, and she was saying, you know, all of this stuff at Keller Williams, I've heard this since I first got my license. Your database is your business. Your database is your business. And what we talk about in Ignite is don't just call it your database, it's your data bank. More deposits you make, the more withdrawals. That's right, deposit withdrawals.
Yeah.
The more withdrawals you get. So anyway, here's mine. All right. In our Trello, we recommend that if you're not in Command yet, you start an Excel sheet. If you already have an Excel sheet, Scott Leroy can help you just go ahead and import them. All right. So we're going to start by adding a new contact. Anything blue is clickable.
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 I feel like, was that already a word?
I just made one.
Clickable.
I'm a literary genius. Educator Cherie, I'm sorry. Just gonna go ahead and apologize for me. All right, you'll put in someone's full name. I always use Mickey Mouse. Who's another? Oh, Elvis Presley needs to buy today.
Yes.
And anything that has a little asterisk, you have to fill out to put in.
Required.
Right. We want, though, as much information as possible. At minimum, we want a phone number or an email address, but we know that we want a phone number and an email address. We want a birthday. We want a home address, right? So you want to put in all the information. And actually, Command has gotten so smart lately, it wouldn't let me do a fake number. So we'll see if it accepts a fake number.
Well, first of all, you don't have enough numbers.
Wait, got one more. What would Elvis Presley's email be?
Elvis has left it out at gmail.com.
That's too long. Elvis dot Presley dot KW at Gmail. He's a KW agent at Graceland and the Sky. Okay. Now, at this opportunity, I'm the owner, you're going to be the owner unless you have a team. So all of us on this call today are single agents. So you're going to skip right over that, does not matter. You have the ability to mark them as a lead or add to your sales pipeline. I would say don't do that yet, right? Just skip over that until we get to the next point. Because if you mark someone as a lead, it goes to a separate category and it won't show up on your normal contacts list. I've done that myself, and then I'm like, I know I put this person in here, and it goes to a separate list. So tags, we'll talk about that. We expect for you to organize your database. So if you have people from an open house, or if you have somebody from a sign call, if you do client events, if you've got Little League Baseball, if you've got a church group, if you've got colleagues, you can create these separate tags so that you can specifically pull those up from that. So we'll just do C here. And I exit out. Anyway. How about Montgomery Mega? Sounds good. Okay, and then you have the ability to add as much information like we talked about as you would like. For now, we're just going to create this. What is the, oh, there it goes. Okay, so now we're going to search for Elvis Presley. There he is. You see how he pulls up? Okay. We're going to click on him. All of your contacts will have these two columns. On the left is the contact information. That's where you'll put their neighborhood in and all of that. And then on the right is the timeline. Let me show y'all real quick my husband's so you can kind of see what it looks like with somebody that has actually looked in. William Woodard. That has interacted with the site. Okay, so here's his information. Here's all the neighborhoods that I've selected for him. And then on the side, you see on the timeline, it says, you'll buy me this house. He was in there commenting in the app. You have the ability to look at what neighborhood they look at. You have the ability to click on a link for whatever listing they're looking at. So when you're doing follow-up on somebody that's already talked to you about wanting to buy or sell in a certain area, you can follow up specifically to this. Now, I want to say, you don't want to be the like stalker person who goes, I saw at 9:16 a.m. you looked at this property. But you want to say, hey, you know, I shared with you some information on my app. Have you had an opportunity to look at that? You know they have, but you just don't want to be creepy about it, right? Oh, would you like me to schedule a showing on this property that you looked at 9:14, 9:15, 9:16, 9:17, right? That gives us the ability to kind of know what they're thinking about and looking at. What's next from this? Where do you want to do?
What did you want to show them how to do those two things?
Yeah.
And then come back?
All right, I'm going to go back to Elvis. Because if I mess up with my husband's neighborhoods, he's going to get all cranky about it. So I'm at Publix. I meet Elvis Presley. We have a conversation. He sees I'm wearing my KW shirt. And I said, you know what, Mr. Presley, if you are ever looking to move from Graceland, I have amazing technology that you can start using now to look at neighborhood data, real estate market things. Would you be interested in that? Okay. He says, yes, I would love it. And so we put him in our database. We share our app with him, right? You always want to do that instead of giving out your card, right, Vicki? Why do we want to get their information?
You want to get their information because they might take your card and just throw it to the side. But if you get their information and give them a card, remember to do the exchange and still reach out to them because you got their information as well.
Exactly. Used to be the old school thinking was you handed out your business card and that got you business. We know now that you can hand them their business card. They can mean to call you, but then they get on Zillow, right? So we want to put the control in our hands because we are the professional, right? We serve them. So we put them in our database. We shared our app with them. So either they download the app and enter in, or you put them in. Either way, they're into your database, and you go into their contact card and you see where it says add neighborhood. Also want to point out, anytime it says view Kelly guide, this is like a step-by-step guide for whatever feature you're in, and it will literally make it so simple. So if you don't feel tech friendly or you're feeling a little anxious about it, always click that if it's there. It'll show you about the feature. So add neighborhood. And you can literally, if you have people in your database in Georgia, in New York City, anywhere in the United States, it's going to pull it up. Okay, so we're going to say for Montgomery, and it's just going to pull up some known neighborhoods. Okay, you see how this does? Now, this is not MLS, and this is not zip code. What we know about the consumer is they don't care about our MLS areas. They don't care about the zip code. They want neighborhood-specific information. So this is actually created from the app and website Nextdoor, and that's where all of our neighborhood information comes from. And we know that ethically, we have to be careful as realtors saying about the school district, saying about the park, saying about this, that, and the other. So utilize this, okay? And say we're going to click on a couple of other ones around there because he may want to know what's going on in East Chase. You know, based on the conversation I had with him. You can add as many as you want. And then what you'll do is set him up on a neighborhood nurture smart plan. You have to have their email address to do that. Okay, but let me show you what it looks like with the monthly or bi-weekly newsletter. And actually, Susan, I get yours every month. Did you know that? I get your monthly neighborhood nurture. What that looks like.
And I get yours.
Do you do? Cool. I'm gonna set y'all up too, girls. Y'all can get it as well. And you can set yourself up to see it. This is how you can see and know what you're sending out. All right. Anytime it will eyeball it, say preview, so you can see what the consumer is gonna see. Da-na. Here we go. Okay. So as you set up your marketing profile, whatever you put in there is going to come on all of these sites, all of these neighborhood nurtures, all of your smart plans. It's going to go there. And you can see how each neighborhood is recognized as a different tab. and it's showing market stats. The consumer will have the ability to love something, to hide it, to, I can't draw, but they can draw because it's just a preview, to add new neighborhoods. Every time Elvis Presley is doing this, I get to see it over here in my timeline, so I can call and follow up with them. All right, so he says, you know what, I want to move into this house, and we start talking contract work. That's when the opportunity comes in, okay? As soon as you start talking about getting into an agency relationship with someone, you have a buyer's agency or a listing agreement, you create an opportunity. You see how I did that, guys? Right here. Or it's the handshake icon over here. For sake of example, we're going to do it inside the contact card.
Yeah, you either create it inside the contact card, or like she said, you go to opportunities, create, find your contact. So you can do it 2 different ways.
All right. Well, first of all, Elvis Presley's going to list his property with me at Graceland before he buys in Montgomery. And so you see how it's got the asterisks? Those are, you have to have that filled in. Huh? Anything
I was
with
talking
asterisks.
myself.
And so he wants to close June 30th. Now, guys, at the beginning, this is just an estimate. You will always go back and correct, right? And that's something you want to remember. Right. Okay. So $1 million, which is probably more than that, is what you sell it for. Let me see. 99 cents. That doesn't work. All right. And he's going to give me a commission rate of 20%, because why wouldn't he? Right now he's in the cultivate stage, but you have the opportunity, and you'll see on the sales pipeline where, just like Trello, you move them through. We're going active with this listing. So I'm selecting active.
So you guys have already had the appointment, and all the things, right? So active.
And then I set up my stages as something different in here, but you can set your stage, customize it later. You'll do that. It'll give you some standard options. And yet, as you start using it and you start creating your systems, you'll be able to customize some more of these things. All right, create the opportunity. You know what? I did not change the listing for the property address. So. Okay, here's our opportunity. It shows up in the contact card. And the internet is being so funky right now, y'all. I'm sorry.
Of course, it's right about the time, right? We're to start blinking. This is what happened.
Okay, so I didn't know Elvis's property address, but I need to go and change that. Where did it go? Here we go. Anybody know his actual address? I'm gonna say Graceland. When you have the buyer, you won't know that first. It's automatically based on whether you choose listing or buyer, what it'll say their name, and then the buyer listing. You always need to go and change that when you get ready to submit. Susan does not know all of our contacts. Bless her, she knows a lot, but she doesn't know who Sue or John are, right? Okay, you wanna go through this?
Well, so like Katie said, when you're working with a buyer in the beginning, you don't know a property address, and we just ask that you go back. You may have to do the driving, and then hit that and edit to the address, right? Your listing, though, will probably be the address, possibly. If not, then please make it the address, so that when you guys submit the commission request to me, it all matches up, right? So if you'll scroll back up, so as you're walking through everything, you're ready to go, right? So you've started this, you've got some paperwork ready to upload, because we wanted to do that like that and then that. Okay, and so this is how you upload your documents into Command for me to be able to check the compliance. So you'll check the document, click on documents, sorry. And over here on the left-hand side, you see that we've got listed, under contract, and closed, right? So these are the checklists. So we have a paper checklist inside of the office in here in the mailroom up front. plus in the Google Drive that you guys have all been invited to. If you have not been invited, go ahead and contact Lisa, ask her to invite you.
And in Trello.
And in Trello. And so, but these are the checklists, right? So we have them marked inside of here, required, conditionally required, and strictly optional, right? So we all know that conditionally required, your septic, right? If the property has a septic, that's conditionally required, right? You got some things that are marked optional. Do you see any of those? So like the home warranty, right? So say your seller's like, no, you know what, I'm just not gonna pay for the home warranty for the buyer in this deal, right? Which most do. It's like a standard, not a standard.
It's optional.
It is optional, but a lot of people in this area do. But that's optional, right? So every one of the documents in it, we do have, if you click on the document, most of these have an example that I have uploaded, right, inside of there. Some of them do not. We don't recommend that the home warranty paperwork that's in there be what you use all the time. Please go to their website and get it, because those are constantly changing, right, updating and all. So you can either submit your documents one at a time, the way that this is set up, which is what I prefer, right? Because we're going to walk you through how to add one, and then I'm going to show you why this is easier for you guys as well as us, right? So under listed, at the time of listing, you have your listing agreement and all of those types of things, right? Because you don't have an offer yet, right? So this is just when you list. And up front, you take care of the listing agreement, some of those things, right? So at that point in time, go ahead and put all of that in here. So if you will, click on just add a file. So this is how you add your documents. So you click add a file. You can either manually upload. Well, we don't have custom folders really. So manually upload, and you can either drag and drop. Everything must be saved in PDF format, okay? So you can either drag and drop or just browse like what she just did and upload it that way. Dragging and dropping is really easy. You just make for sure that your little plus sign hits over that box, and that you're moving really fast. That blue line that you saw go across shows that everything loaded completely, right? So if you click a sign too quick, it on my end, it'll say failed to upload. So the most important, yeah, just like that, goes fast. So sometimes they're slower the larger the documents, but just make for sure that it loads all the way, and then click assign. So,
you see how now it shows.
Okay, so now as I go through and I start checking, I've got the same checklist that you guys are going to have if you need paper checklist, right? I'm going to go through here, I'm going to check them off. Now, the way I do it is when I open up each one of these documents, there's approve or reject. Gosh, people, I can't talk. Approve or reject. So I have the option to approve the document just like it is, or reject it, and it requires me to put the note inside of there to let you guys know why I rejected it, right? So say for instance you had a lead-based paint, you put it in there. There are some initials, signatures, whatever missing, right? So I'm going to reject it. And I'm going to tell you that. It's going to send you a note inside of there and let you know, hey, she rejected this document. You're going to look and you're going to see why I rejected it. You're going to get it corrected, and then you're going to replace it inside of there. And then it turns purple on my end to let me know that you guys have replaced, right? Now, say you had a huge, all your whole packet, right? All of your documents together, and you wanted to scan and put the whole packet in there together, right? So you can click add item up here, enter the document name, buyer package, seller package, whatever, listing package, seller docs, whatever you want to call it. It asks you the type, which is, or I think at the bottom it says other. So you could choose that. I thought it said other, maybe it doesn't. And the same thing, manual, drag and drop, or browse. And yet again, everything should have been scanned in together as one whole package, saved as a PDF, right? I will not allow you to upload any other type of documents, no pictures. You can take a picture, save it to PDF, and then upload, that's fine, if that's the way that you need to do it. So upload that way, click save. And then when you scroll to the very bottom, well, when I scroll to the very bottom, there it is, right? So you've added like a custom form inside of there. Now, the downfall of scanning the whole package in together for me to check is that if I need to reject and write notes, it just rejected your whole package. So when you go in to replace now, you can't just replace it there. You would have to go up top, find that actual document, and add it there to let me know, okay, I've corrected these 2 or 3 dots, right? And re-added them. No, that's not a word. Not re-added. Is that a word?
It's corrected at the top.
Yes. So that's why I just say you can do it either way that you need to. It's fine. We'll get it figured out. But it's a little bit easier for everybody to keep track of what's missing, what's needed, and things like that if you add them individually. So, of course, our checklists are set up at the time of listing. You'll put those documents inside of there that are required or, you know, conditionally required, whatever is applicable to your deal, right, to your listing. So, and then at the time of you have an offer and it's been fully accepted, then you would put the under contract docs inside, right? There's the checklist for all of that. And then after it's closed, then you would put, under the closed checklist, just a copy of the commission check, copy of the closing disclosure, CD, ALTA, whatever the attorney wants to call it. There's printed at the top. We do ask that within 48 hours of closing that you guys bring the commission check and the closing disclosure to the office, put it inside my tray outside my door.
It says stop.
And we had an agent one time that forgot to bring it, and like 2-3 weeks later asked about the check, and I was like, yeah, I didn't know if it closed because I didn't receive it, right? And he was like, did I not bring it? Yeah, I'd been riding around in his car for 2 weeks, like 2.5 weeks. And I was like, okay, because the closing attorney called me and was like, hey, I've seen that you have not deposited this check yet. So anyway, so within, you know, a couple days, which most people do bring it in pretty quickly because you guys want to get paid.
That's
so,
not going to be you guys writing up the commission check, so we don't have to worry about that.
I told him, I said, well, it must be nice. I'll just cut it to me since you don't need it.
Right.
So there's that.
Just right around.
So this is the way that the listing checklist looks. Like Katie said, you'll attend Jimmy Ann's contract class, listing paperwork class, whatever she calls it. But it's paperwork, and it's required of you guys without being required of you guys.
One of the few things you need to know inside of real estate to make money, one of the very few things that at minimum you got to know, you can know a lot of things. If you do not familiarize yourself with the contracts and understand these documents, you're never going to succeed in your financial dreams. So make sure you make it a point. And Vicki, I know that you guys in the PC program, y'all talk a lot about that. Y'all role play the contract to close process. You got to know this, and it's going to make your life easier. Do it ahead of time. Don't wait, because you don't want it to hold up any processing, right?
Right. So while we're talking about all of this, before we get to we'll go ahead and get to the commission tab. So after you've uploaded your docs, all that you've got, listen, you guys, after you put everything in there, up there, if you'll circle submit to MC. Okay. So right there, you see how it's grayed out? At the time that you have uploaded a document and for some reason yours didn't do it, there you go. Okay, so you had to have uploaded a document under that checklist for that button to turn blue. When that button is blue, you submit to me. Now, if you guys want to wait till you have every document signed, required, whatever in your file to submit to me, that is perfectly fine. That's okay. Now, we do ask that as soon as you know, that listing compliance, at the time of listing, right, you have your documents, you got your listing agreement, you got your, your seller's net, blah, 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 all those things, right? At that point in time, 3 days after you guys have listed, that listing agreement is signed, we ask that you upload the documents into the listed checklist. Same thing with after you get an offer. Within 3 days after that offer is accepted, everything's done, earnest money's been given, all of that. So 3 days after that, please go ahead and upload all your docs that you've got, right? Say you don't have everything, that is okay. Go ahead and upload it while you're working on the others. Because now at that point in time, you've got an offer, it's accepted, you're gonna submit a commission request to me, right? So your next thing is you've got to enter your offer inside of here, okay? Because you can't earn a commission if you don't have an offer.
Right. You see how at the top, this is just the
just
tabbing.
flows through, right?
This is y'all's electronic file. You can have a paper file. You can do paper as much as you want.
We don't want your papers. We do not want your paper.
We file everything electronically, and we need every bit of it, not via email, not some copies. It's all got to be in here.
Auditing, for auditing purposes, say the real estate commission comes in and they're going to audit, and all compliance must live in the same place, because I'm going to be the one pulling up all of this information for them. So like Katie said, maybe you had the lead-based paint that had to get finished, and you're like, here, and you hand it to me with your, I'm going to give it right back to you and say, please upload it to Command, because all compliance documents must live inside of there. Okay. So your next step, offers. So now you're going to add your offer that you received.
And you can either do it at every offer, counter offer situation, just like you're doing with the net sheet and with the paperwork. Or
you can wait until you know it's the final
as far as we're concerned, you have all your paperwork and you can just do this offer. The reason why they have the opportunity to have many of them is because Command at one point is going to be able to examine contracts and give, based on statistically, how likelihood it is to be accepted. But right now, it's not at that point. So anyway, we just want final offer. We're gonna say this is our final offer. It's going to closing. Create offer. So we had the offer date today. We're gonna close in 3 days. That's a pretty quick pop. Elvis Presley is the seller.
And again, guys, everything with a red asterisk is required for you to fill in.
Susan Sullivan is moving to Graceland.
I am, I'm buying it.
And again, optional, as much information as we can have on the person and everybody, because this is the opportunity. You'll hear a lot of top agents talk about orphan clients. So some people can't remember. So if you get the other person's information, you can add them to your database later. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Okay, and
I represent Susan.
Okay, Big Wadsworth. She's gonna get a good commission, 20%.
She's going from E to P, even in the imagination. Okay. All right. Now terms. We're gonna fill in. What was that sales price again?
So the sales price wasn't it $1 million? So like you can split it out here. You can't type it in that box. So you either have to put in, like you can split it out if you would like to. Say 50,000, they're putting 50,000 down, and then, there we go. Yes. So, and then that makes your total sales price, right? Or you can just put the finance total amount in there, however you want to work it, right? So, you do not, back up. You do not have to complete this earnest money box, this section, only if you want to, right? You don't have to. That's whatever. So, because of course there's no red asterisk, so you don't have to. Option fee, also, we really don't even know. This might apply to other market centers, but not ours. Termination option, again, based on whatever's in the contract, right? And it's optional. Seller will contribute blank to a residential service contract. This can be for the home warranty, optional. Seller will contribute blank to settlement costs, optional, but you guys pretty much always know that answer because of the front page of the contract. And you go to the agent analysis part, put your pros, cons, summary.
Again, optional. If you had a multiple offer situation, you could kind of do your professional overview here to review with your client. Again, not mandatory. But you have to go through each of those steps for the offer to get to this point.
And so when you click save, now here's your offer timeline, right? And you could leave this here, right? So say you're in a multiple offer situation and you got a couple more coming, right? Like she said, you could enter every one of them inside of there, or you can wait to the end, and this is your final, right? And so now you know you're good to go. Then you can click.
Well, I want to show them. You see how commissions is gray? You can't see it until you've accepted this offer. And now you can be paid.
So click the commissions tab and, okay, ignore the red screen because at this point you guys would have already, see up at the top right here, when you're entering a listing opportunity and you're moving through everything, you do need to select a listing inside of there. So
Mars is fictional, right? It's not going to be to a real listing. So
if you'll click on that though, let's see what it looks like when we go over there. Because I want to show you guys something. This one.
It'll only show me. I can't see that.
Okay. So I know, but so I can see. It's fine. So right here, when you start to type in an address, what's an address we know? 7833 Mall.
Vicki, what's a listing you have? Are you with us? Okay, what's one of our?
What was it? 40 Hill Ridge, Redstone. Okay, yeah, Redstone. All right, so, moved a little too fast. That's what I was going to tell you guys, is when you go to type this in right there, don't, you want to do the drop down beside status. So you want to do all statuses, and then you want to show not just my listings, because sometimes it won't pull, right? You want to show all listings. So change that, and then here pops up all the listings, right? And that's how you add your listing to that opportunity, right? And then you won't get the red error box at the top, right? When we go back.
I don't have any listings because I don't actively list or sell, and that's why it's not. And we're doing a fictional person just to show you guys.
But also I did help another agent in our office, Eva Lynn. She had a listing and we were walking through this and it didn't show her own listing when she chose just my listings, right? She had to go show all. I mean, go click and choose all in order for it all to pop up. Not sure why, probably a little glitch in something that they're working on this every day, all day long so submit feedback, guys, too, when you're in here. If there's any kind of issue or anything you see that you're like, oh, well, this didn't work out right, this should look different, always submit feedback. So,
well, if there are any hiccups though along the way, you'll see this really big red thing. It's not going to let you continue. So for our purposes, it's pretend. So it's cool though.
So it's got the breakdown of your commission right here. If you scroll down a little bit, so it's got the agent breakdown, unit, total commission, starts breaking everything down. You guys want to, all right, so it gives you literally like line by line, total everything, right? So you're split with the company, your royalty split. And then right here where you get to deductions, those videos that Katie played earlier with KW Cares, Kids Can, and Bold Scholarship, this is where you guys can choose to give any amount of money if you would like. It is optional. If you are not going to give anything at this point, then you must make sure that those are zeros inside of there. If you are, you could give $1, you could give $100. It's up to you, whatever you would like to do. But that's where you would enter that in. It would come directly out of your commission. If you'll, where is the deductions section? Let's see. How can we add a deduction? That's code broker payment. So down here at the bottom, no, down there, right. I'm wondering if you click add item, if this helps you add, yeah. Yes, so right there. So this is how you would add a deduction. So say that you are, scroll down and let's see what else in the list. There we go. So this is where if you had an outside referral to someone, So like another Keller Williams or another, another real estate company, this is where you would add that outside referral. So you are a part of coaching, okay? This is where you would add the coaching fee and in the deduction, right? So you're gonna choose a deduction, you're gonna pay Vicki 10% of your total commission amount, put that amount inside of there, and then name it PC, name it coaching, whatever you would like to do, pay to Vicki, phone number is required. Create manually or add.
Oh, Lord.
And then it gives you, it shows up on this side of it here, and it's a part of your breakdown. So it will go ahead and show you that coming out, right? Same thing with the outside referral fee. Most standard referral fees are 25%. It can be whatever you guys would like to agree upon, but most do 25%. So say, 25% off the top is going to the other agent, right? So that's where you would put your deduction in, your outside broker information in.
Address is not valid. Thank you. Okay. I'm doing that to show you guys how it's going to show up for you.
Right there. And then say you got an outside referral, you can add again, add item, and set that up inside of there. And put all the information that you have in. So you guys, when they submit, when they give you the referral, you'll need to reach out to them and ask them for that information. Just give us as much as you've got. If you don't have anything, I'll reach out to the other office and say, I need all your information, right?
Susan?
Yes.
Where you say you will put a referral, because when you see my opportunity for Vaughn Lane, it should have a referral.
Okay, so also too, pause one second. This is pretty important, guys, too. So if you get to this point and you forget your referral, I do not know to pay that person. I don't know to send that referral amount to the other side or to the outside agent, right? The outside company. So this is really important. There has been times that an agent in the past years ago forgot to let me know that there was a referral. And of course I went ahead and I paid and they moved on. And later on somebody said, hey, I'm looking for my agent's referral check. You guys should have, it closed like last month or, 6 months ago, whatever, I don't know. And so we had to get that money back from the agent. We had already paid them their full commission when technically it shouldn't have been as much as what they received. So we had to get that back. So also too, if you guys missed this step, which I hope you don't, but if you were to miss this step, but you put your referral agreement inside where the documents are, then I'll see that and I'll say, hey, I don't see it on your commission request. Did you guys really actually have a referral? Did this something happen and it fell out or whatever? So just make for sure that it's right there. So if you click add item, Vicki, right there.
I know to check them out.
And you're gonna choose the type. So type of additional element, scroll down and it'll say outside referral.
Okay.
Okay. Then you'll just put your information in there. So 25% tab, and it populates. Most of the time, guys, if you're not going to have a social security number. It's always going to be the EIN because I've got to pay, a broker, guys, you have to pay a brokerage, right? And then you would put the tax ID number in. Now, this is what I love about Command. It's required for you to put that tax ID number inside of there. So at this point, the referral form that you guys agreed to should have had their tax ID number on there. If they did not put it, then you'll just reach back out and say, hey guys, I need your tax ID, your Market Center's tax ID number. Like I said, their Market Center or company's address, phone number, all that should have been on there. It's just to kind of help us have as much information as we can.
Yes, and I want to say, when the agent is calling you going, where is my check? It doesn't magically get to them. We have to have, that's why we have the referral form. That's why we have all this to keep up with, because this is how both sides of the party get paid. You don't want to hold it up. They don't want to hold it up. We need this information to pay somebody. We can't just write a check out for someone's name. It has to go through a company.
Now, something I did want to talk to you about, because I noticed in this drop-down list that it says inside referral. So inside referral would be, Katie, I'm like, Katie, you know what? I just cannot, you know, I just can't handle this because I have so much business. Can you help me out, please?
I would love to.
And I'm going to give you a referral. Here's a listing.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Can it be over $1 million?
Yes, it's actually 2.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, and then at that point in time, Katie's like, you know what? I'm going to give you 25% because you referred that to me.
But it's inside of our company.
It's inside of our company. Please do not do not choose inside referral this way. The way that it works inside of our office is you will add that agent to this commission request, right? So there is a way.
This one?
No, that's co-broker payment. There is a way to add an agent, and I'm not really sure why.
I think they would have had to do it back on the details.
There should be an option right here to add another agent to this commission request, right? Let's see. Can't add another. Okay, all right, this is why. Scroll back up, Katie. So right here is where Katie would say, it's for your payment breakdown, I believe. No. All right, so go back up. So you know that your sales price is $1 million, commission is going to be 20%, but you are only going to receive 75% of that commission. And I am going to receive 25%, right?
Ooh.
So once you take out the 25% that you owe me, Command says, you know what? This is not the total commission amount, so there's got to be another person we're adding in, right?
Okay, now it's syncing up.
There we go.
It's in the unit, right?
See, the total payment amount has been distributed, right? So you put that you're going to receive that full amount. So you got to reduce your commission amount. Not the unit, because the unit doesn't matter, the money matters. I mean, the unit does matter, guys, it really does.
So I think we're getting off in the weeds here for them. Is this confusing you guys, or y'all understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah. She commented. So what you would do is put your 20% commission like you had before. So when you get down here to total commission, it should let you alter that, right? So you're still receiving 1 unit, but your commission amount is different, right? Okay, hit tab. Contract date. Scroll down. There should be, why is this not working out? Okay, guys, well, we can't do it. Okay, so let me just go ahead and tell y'all something about this. So when we're in here and we're working inside of this, our system does not 100% work the exact same as you guys do. Sometimes, especially when it's a listing, which is why I like to choose the buyer side, it's almost impossible to walk through the exact steps, right? So if you guys have an issue, not an issue, but an instance where you have an inside referral to someone, reach out to me. We'll walk through that at that point in time because we can't make this work out right this minute, which is the wonderful world of technology.
That's right.
Well,
anyway, so
do you think it'll be on the payment breakdown?
That's where I was thinking it would show up. I was thinking you needed to change the total commission over there under agent breakdown, but it won't let you edit that commission there really. See, the co-broker is not, that's on the other side.
Yeah.
You have to put a tax ID number in and all that stuff.
And we have the leadership version. We don't have the individual Google Agent version, and so that's why she's saying sometimes it'll show it differently when y'all get to this point. If you have any sort of referral, just reach out. We're happy to explain exactly what to do on that. But the point of all of this is where their contact lives, this is where your document lives, this is where your offers are, and this is how you get paid. If none of these steps are met, you can't just bring a check. Like, this all has to be done inside of here, and this is where we hold our compliance. It's really important you guys know that.
Yeah, I will write notes to you guys, so you can send me a note. You can write a note inside of there. Right now, I'm not receiving any notifications like being sent to my email or anything like that. So you guys may want to just send a quick email to me and say, hey, I left you a note command on blah, blah, blah address, right? And I'll go in there and take a look. I'm not going to make you do double work, but that is something that all MCAs and all compliance coordinators have requested, is to please send us a notification to our email that we've received a note, right, inside of there. Right now they have it set up like this on purpose because they are all about accountability, and they want us inside of command every day checking all the things, right? So they have it set up like that on purpose, but I would love for some kind of notification to let me know something's going on inside there. So if you look, there's your notes tab on the next. No notes yet, you can send a note.
I don't know. Save it.
Save it. Okay. And then over here in the end is the timeline tab. It shows you everything you've done and everything I've done and everything everybody's done. So I go in and it'll tell you at that point in time, Susan Sullivan has checked blah, 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 checked blah, 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 accepted, rejected, all the things, right? And it will let you know what's been going on. So whenever you guys put anything in or do anything inside of there, I can be like, oh gosh, let me look and see when they did this, you know, and check back, right? That also would let me know, hey, I entered a contract and then I entered this contract. And like say your commission request says $1 million, but say there's a contract in there for $950,000. And I'm like, oh, well, which one is correct, right? Because you got an offer on $1 million, you got an offer on a $950,000. You've already submitted a commission request to me, and your offer matches. But now it's changed because once you guys submit this, at that point in time, you can't change anything inside of here as far as your commissions and your offers because it won't communicate backwards, right? So once you submit to me and I pull it into my system, it won't go back. They're working on all of that right now. So at that point in time, you would just say, hey, Susan, sorry, price has changed, commission has changed, here's the details. But that also would help me go, when I'm checking compliance inside timeline, oh, you know what, 950,000 is where it's at now. So let me kick out that other one and I'm gonna accept this one as the final contract, right? So just kind of helps me to know where everything's at, because we all know that things change with the deal.
They do. They change all the time. And it's important to let Susan know the closing date has changed. And so if you guys put in here initially, it's going to close the end of June, and then it gets moved up or moved back.
Yes.
She does her timeline on checking all of the paperwork and compliance and being to the point of ready to process your check and submit it based on the timeline put into here.
So like we said, our policy in the office is within 3 days of an accepted contract with offer, within 3 days of a listing, please enter your paperwork, submit to me, all the things, right? But lost my whole train of thought.
I don't know.
Gosh,
just make it as part of y'all's system is what you're doing. You're communicating with the closing attorney, you're communicating with the lender, you're communicating with the client, you're submitting your docs. Just make it as part of your incorporate. Don't wait till the end.
That's what I was saying. So the reason why we asked for you guys to put all this in there and to submit your commission request as soon as you know. See, we've had some agents that said, you know what, I felt like I was going to jinx the deal, so I wouldn't submit the commission request because every time I do, a deal falls out. Please don't do that to me. Guys, I love you all dearly. please put the commission request in. And if it falls out, it does, and we do what we need to do on our end. And of course, we never want that to happen, but you know, you're in real estate. So, but it just helps me prepare, right? We live on time block calendars inside of this office, and every hour, 30 minutes, 2 hours, whatever, we've got our time block throughout the day. And I really like to check compliance a week to 2 weeks before the actual closing date to give you guys plenty of time, right? To go back and fix anything or get something else signed or whatever it might be, right? That also gives you time to try to figure out the system. Hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? Blah, 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 right? So that's why we do that. And it's all to get you paid as quickly as possible once that closing has happened.
So what else do we have? This was a lot of information, and we kind of have to go through everything, you know, step by step, but yet in an overview. So any questions y'all have, Vicki is here with the program. We're here. We have trainings all the time. We have the YouTube channel. What you guys want to make sure that you're able to do is go to our Facebook page. If you're not already in the Facebook page, at the top in the announcements, I have a video of how to sync up the intranet calendar, which is our training calendar, to your personal calendar, so that you're never going to miss finding that link. You're never going to miss what time something is or what it is. And we want you guys to be engaged and involved. And we understand you can't all the time be in the middle of everything. Yet there are certain things that we put on just for you guys, and especially with the PC program to curate that growth plan and get you engaged in that. So
I just wanted to say real quickly, I know that, and I'm going to step out, guys. I know that it seems like a fire hose has been turned on you guys, but please know that we're all here for anything that you need. Please send requests for appointment times, even if it's a Zoom or a phone call or whatever. Hey, if you got time to talk on this day at this time or whatever, we'll set something up. But we're all here to help you out. If we don't know the answer, if I don't know the answer, I might say, hey, you know what, Jaleesa can help you out with that better than I can. Let me get you over to her, whatever, right? So we're all here to help. So yeah, don't freak out when
don't
you
be
see all this.
overwhelmed. Yeah, the Trello is there to help you, and all of our technology is to help your business grow. And so just make sure you keep a growth mindset, and you'll have no problem. So thank y'all. I know this was a long, it's 2 hours, but remember Marta's 2 days. So we're doing that. So 2 hours, it was a lot of stuff. Thank y'all for hanging in there. I appreciate y'all. Have a great day, okay?
Bye. Oh, look, I'm looking up. I'm looking over.